So, I recently read that Mr. Jagdeep Singh makes 48 crores per day as an employee. That makes his annual salary approximately 17,500 crores. He is the highest paid employee in the world. Well, something doesn't fit, right? I did not learn this. Rich Dad Poor Dad taught me that to be rich, you have to be an investor and run businesses. Well, guess what? The book is wrong. Now, if you are at a stage where you have started taking your finances seriously, chances are that you would have Googled best finance books. And if I take a wild guess, you would have definitely come across this book. Even I read it, I found it to be revolutionary and fundamental. Robert Kiyosaki has done things incredibly well, but to be very honest, I think he's telling half the truth when he talks about his cash flow quadrants. In this video, I'm going to explain exactly that. In less than 10 minutes, we'll discuss why this book, despite being a bestseller and selling 32 million copies, is still not painting the whole picture, and why Robert Kiyosaki, whose net worth is more than $100 million, might not be completely correct. Now, why should you know about this? Well, the very fact that you started reading this book means that you are serious about attaining financial freedom. And if you truly want to become financially free, you need to get it right and understand if you're progressing towards it. A lot of people wonder, what is financial freedom? Is it a number like $100 million or 400 crores? Well, no, it's not a number. Is it an employment status, whether you are an employee and working for someone else or you're running your own business? Again, no. Is it cash flow, as in how much you have it or how much you don't have it? Again, no. It's not a number, it's not the type of worker you are, or it's not how much money you're making, but how you treat it and how you behave as an investor. If you truly understand how to make money work for you. Now, to understand this better, I came across this very interesting framework known as the Investor Matrix, which is an updated version of Robert Kiyosaki's theory. If we consider him first, well, he talks about becoming wealthy by assessing if you're an employee or if you run businesses or if you're self-employed or if you are an investor. You can see it here on his cash flow matrix. The summary of his whole point is that you need to move from employees to an investor to truly become rich. Okay, that seems fine. But if you really think about it, it is just a tax label that you're being judged by to assess whether you will become rich or not. Now, there are a lot of employees in the world working for a company who are rich. Take Mr. Jagdeep Singh for an example. Or consider Mr. Sundar Pichai, whose net worth is more than $1 billion. Or Jamie Dimon. Now, wouldn't you consider all of these people as rich? Even if you take up the Forbes list, you'll find a number of employees in that list. So instead of obsessing over whether you're working for someone else or running your business or are self-employed, we need to think about how to progress in financial literacy, which sounds boring, except it makes a lot of money. Because the truth is, it is a total fallacy that you cannot be a worker and still be a billionaire or massively rich, as we can see from a number of examples. And all of this I learned by having 50 plus conversations with 8 to 9 figure net worth people who had different background. They had different tax liabilities, they had different tax benefits, but they cared about their investor status. And this will help everyone who want to reach the top of the pyramid. Okay, so the investor matrix divides people into 4 categories. There are spender savers, general investors, calculated investors, and master allocators. Well, I gave them different names to help me remember them easily and find it relatable so that I can understand where I am. My names are the beginners, the hopefuls, the strategists, and the experts. Now, beginners and hopefuls are on the left side of the matrix. As the title suggests, they know the least about investing, they pay the most in taxes and have the least financial freedom while they are ready to work on it. And that is why they are on the matrix. But both of them are slightly different from each other. Now, beginners are the ones who brings in money, thinks he's using it, but it's really using him. He buys all kinds of things like cars, houses, vacations, and all the things to fill all these cars, houses, and vacations. Then after all the earnings and all of this expenditure, he puts the rest of the money in his savings account. But what he doesn't realize is that it's not keeping up with inflation, or he's just purchasing the next thing. So it kind of feels like a hamster on a wheel kind of situation. Plus, with this comes vanity. Somehow, looking rich has become more important than being rich. He fails to understand that the most crucial part is feeling financially secure than proving to someone else that you are rich. Lastly is the imperfection. Now, the beginners or the spender savers work hard for money because they don't truly understand it. They keep working for it because they don't know how to make money work for them. Now, before you go and condemn all of these people that these people are idiots, 99% of us start here only. Even when I was in college and I got my first stipend, I used to earn, but at the end of the day, did not have anything to show for it. Majority starts here, and that's okay. The next come the general investors or the hopefuls. This is what you look for in the hopeful. First, he has a desire. He started realizing the importance of investing because he knows that it's the pathway to freedom. He doesn't want to work a job all day or struggle to get clients. Second, he invests in things like stock market or mutual funds by paying commissions to a third person who manages his finances. He is usually much less aware or have no knowledge about portfolio building or asset management or diversification. If this seems relatable, maybe you are here. And thirdly, he might be suffering from FOMO. Because you have an innate desire to get financial freedom as soon as possible, you tend to get into the trend of getting rich quick schemes. In short, the general investors or the hopefuls understand that money is important, so they invest, but they lack a clear direction or a strategy to do it efficiently. And this is where most people sit all their life, this level, and they're never quite free even when they're big on that. Now, on the right side of the matrix are the strategists and the experts or calculated investors and the master allocators. These people pay the least in taxes and create or invest in assets that produce cash flow for them even while they're sleeping. We call that passive or horizontal income. First, let's talk about the strategists. Well, strategists are aware of the need to invest money, but unlike the hopefuls, they do it strategically and proactively. These people have three distinguishing characteristics. First, education. You have educated yourself. Investing, taxes, finances, asset classes. You understand the terminology and how it all works. Second, self-reliance. You know what works, you call out BS when you hear it, and never trust anyone blindly with your finances. And third, awareness. Now, these people exactly know their financial position. How much is their net worth? How much are there going to be expenses? What is milestone setting? And all the related strategies. You know where to go, and with that, you are aware of the systems you need to reach there. Teams, softwares, and working with professionals if required. You are wholly aware of the blueprint of your journey. This is where money starts working for you in reality. Now, lastly, we have the experts or master allocators. This is the pinnacle of financial mastery. This is where we want to be if we truly want to be generationally free from financial perspective. Now, how can you differentiate the expert from the rest? Let me know if you found it relatable. First, they have the expertise. That is why they are called the experts. Second, access. With your expertise comes a network and a good lot of access to opportunities, deals, and insights. At this level, your wealth grows exponentially even when you're sleeping. Money kind of becomes like your employee. Now, listening to all this, you might have already got an inkling as to where you are. Now, that is the first step of climbing the ladder towards the expertise. Now, you know that you need to forget all about if you are an employee or a freelancer or run a business. What you need to ask yourself is, do you understand enough about making money that other people can start to treat you as an expert, or you get unfair access, or can if you want to become an allocator, then we'll move forward. I hope you liked this video. Comment your thoughts. I came across this really interesting concept, so I thought I'd share it with you. I know it was a bit contrarian, but that's what it takes to reach the place where you want to be. Thanks, and I'll see you on the next one.